the kids don't seem to understand it's a marathon. They don't want to realize it's a business. They don't want to accept the fact that in the marathon, we all do 16 miles before anybody thinks about racing. And what happens here is they want that 16 miles to go by far, and they want to just start out and sprint the whole thing. Can't happen. Every single person that comes here, the door will crack open for everyone at least once or twice. The advice that I have is not how good an actor you are in that 2 or 3 minutes you get when you're in the room. It's what you do with that opportunity in the 2 or 3 minutes you're in the room. But what you do is when you get in that room, you better know how to dance in that 3 minutes. And you better be unique and individual. The most important thing to understand is, and I taught acting for a while, but it really comes down to something very simple. And in Hollywood, it's tougher to concentrate on this than it is in the theater in New York or around the country in regional things. Learning how to act is the hardest thing in the world. Acting is not hard, because all acting is having the ability to be publicly private. If you can do that, you're in. If you can't or aren't willing to attempt to do that, be Alex Trebek, do talk shows or game shows or whatever, but get out of my way. Because you're wasting time, you're wasting space, and it's not going to be real, it's not going to be authentic, and most of all, when you walk in that room, you have one thing to sell: yourself. And you have yourself to sell, and irregardless of what shape or size or age or anything else, it's unique. Sell that. Sell yourself. Sell your uniqueness. Don't try and imitate somebody else. Be yourself. Take it from here and take it out. And that's what I don't see today. I see copycats. The second thing is, understand, because of the endurance, you cannot be impatient. It will happen. You've got to put yourself in a position where you're around other actors who know how to communicate with not each other, but who's working, who's casting, where are the plays, where are the readings, what theaters, what little theaters have parts, what roles. Well, if you're new and you're just in town, or you're just here and you're starting out and you're 22 years old and you went to Trinity or some school that has a theater program, you don't have much of a resume. Invent one. You have to network yourself. You have to be aware of what's around. And you've got to come with a positive attitude of who the competition is. And I don't mean, because acting's not a competition, but looking for work is a competition. And what you want to do is make sure that you know who the people are that can do good work, and you want to be associated with them. And when you go to work, you look in the mirror. And when you come home at night, you can look in that same mirror and at the end of the day and said, I don't know how good they think I was today, but I know I was honest. I did one real thing which called out another real thing. And therefore, I may not be as good as I could have been, but I tried to be honest. I felt my work was honest. It was from the inside out. And if they can do that, then they're here for an honest reason, and they've got a shot at having a career. If they can't, they'll make it a little while if the magic hits them. Otherwise, they're not going to last. And you see it all generations, but the generation now has the toughest time, but the easiest time if they're good. If they're good, they'll survive faster than we did, because there's not the same amount of numbers coming to Hollywood, getting off the Greyhound, landing at the airport like there were before. Because reality television weeds them out so fast, one audition and they get paralyzed and they panic. The greatest crippler of actors is behind the camera intimidation. You cannot take it personally. It's not aimed at you. Everybody wants to go home at 6:30. So when crew people or anybody else is looking at you and looking at their watch, and the guys are walking around looking at their watch, it's all because of their personal agenda, not yours. So don't take it personally. Don't think you're screwing up, and therefore that's why they're angry, because you're beating the clock and everything, and you can't go 3 or 4 takes, or each take's got to be. Keep inventing, keep progressing. Take roles that put you on the edge, that take chances. Somebody's liable to be there with a net and catch you and throw you back up again, and a lot of times there won't be that person, and you'll have to learn to throw yourself back up there. But I am never happy in my life unless I'm on a set working as an actor. I mean, that's the thing I have the most fun doing in my own life. And that's why I don't really direct or other things, is because I still got a lot of growing to do as an actor and a lot of work to do. And we did a film a few years ago called A Decade Under the Influence, where we talked about the films of the 70s. And in it, Marty Scorsese summed it up by saying the best thing that I could say to new actors now: despite the wizardry of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and all the wizard-like filmmakers of today, and they're brilliant, and they make all of these brilliant films that, as Marty put it, also on top of all their filmmaking brilliance, they have a propensity of making money fast, their films. However, at the end of the day, I miss the people. And I came here because of the people. Movies to me are about why people do what they do, particularly in times of stress. So if I got anything to say to you guys and gals out there, that's why I came here. Pick up the torch. I'm not going anywhere. And let's go make a film together about the people. But it's all about, people say to me, what are the challenges? What are your favorite movies? Especially it's something like this. What is your favorite movie? I don't look at it that way. My favorite movie is my next movie. I don't even know what it is. Actors are only as good as what's next, not what they've done before. This is what you come for. This is what you can get. You dream your dream and pull it off. Don't expect somebody else to make it happen for you. You got to make it happen for yourself. And the last thing I'll tell you is, when you have a chance to get management in this business, whether it's an agent or a manager or even a loved one, make sure that those representatives of yours dream the same dream for you that you dream for yourself. Don't let yourself be just a commodity to them that they're going to make a living off of. That's fine. They're always going to do that. But make sure their dreams are your dreams, so that you don't end up playing Popeye your entire career. I'm going to give a shout out to ExploreTalent.com.